This is the Artica folding bushcraft knife from the Spanish company Joker. If you're interested in hearing my thoughts on it, keep watching. Before we get started, I do want to thank Joker for sending out the Artica folding bushcraft knife so that I could share it with you. So this is going to be a relatively short video because it's a folding knife. It's not like I can do a whole lot of tasks with it, but I'll show you what I do with it. But first, let's take a closer look at it, go through a few of the specifications, then I can do at least one, maybe two demonstrations. All right, let's start by going through a few of the specifications for the knife. So overall length in its closed position, 4.09 inches. When you open the knife up, you add 3.1 inches to the length. Blade thickness is 0.12 of an inch or 3 millimeters. Blade height from edge to spine is 0.83 of an inch. Overall weight, 3.9 ounces. And the steel they chose was 14C28 and stainless steel hardened to between 58 and 59 on the Rockwell scale. And as you can see, nice curly birch handles, scales on the side with black liners. And I mentioned that for a couple of reasons. One, obviously how nice they look, but also because Joker has a number of variations on the Artica knife, different scale materials and even different blade grinds as well, which by the way, as you can see, is a zero ground Scandinavian edge, and it is a backlock knife as well. All right, a few close-ups of the Joker Artica Bushcraft folding knife. So what do you use a knife like this for? Well, like any other pocket knife, any number of small tasks. The nice thing about a pocket knife is it's lightweight, it's small, it's convenient, and you carry it in your pocket, which means it's immediately accessible for all the tasks, the small tasks, things that don't require a large cutting tool. In fact, that's where you would do with a knife like this is you would pair it with a larger cutting tool if you're coming out in the woods. So you could have this in your pocket ready for quick use, but if you have a large belt knife or even a hatchet or an axe, you can reserve those for the heavy duty tasks like wood prep for fires and the like. Use this for the smaller tasks like carving. Yes, you could carve not just with this, you could carve a spoon with this if necessary, and believe it or not, you can even do some feather sticking with it, which is the demonstration I'm going to give to you now. So just have another look at this. Beautiful little knife, you know. The only thing it lacks is a pocket clip, which of course it wouldn't fit the ideal of this knife, but it carries well in my pocket, and I may get a little leather sheath in the pocket sheath that I can carry this knife with, but right now it's been carrying just fine. All right, let's do a bit of feather sticking. So I have a little split of maple here. Looks pretty good. Let's see if I can't run the knife down and create a few feathers with it. Now, let's be real. It's a small knife. It swallows up in my hand, my XL hand, so it's not a large knife. It's not going to be as comfortable as a large handled knife for long periods of time. But for short periods of time like this right now, it will be just fine. The other thing that I'm noticing with this knife is because of the thin blade stock at 3 millimeters, 0.12 of an inch, and the Scandinavian zero grind, this thing really excels at fine carving like this. It's just quite a joy to use despite its small size. So, if you carry this along with a large cutting tool, which would be awkward for doing this type of a task, you reserve your large cutting tools for making these splits, but then you would use this for making the feathers. As you can see, especially good for making feathers. Yeah, this is actually quite fun using this knife for making feathers. Or just whittling, having fun, putting a point on a stick. You know, there's actually a joy in just carving wood like this. Right? I think that demonstrates that this knife is capable of doing at least some small tasks like this while you're out in the woods. Okay, we can wrap this video up. All right, a few closing thoughts on the Artica Bushcraft folding knife from the Spanish company Joker. What a fun little knife this is. That's the first thing I'm going to say about it. It's just fun to use, primarily because of that zero ground Scandinavian edge. By the way, the 14C28 and stainless steel has held up very well like I expected it would. It is a good quality steel, very easy to maintain, very easy to sharpen, stays sharp a reasonable amount of time. Really, all I've done with this is run it down the ceramic rod a few times and run it over a strop. It's actually starting to take a slight polish on the edge as it rounds over from the strop use, which probably All it does, seems to do anyway for me, is just strengthen the edge a little bit, so, maybe a little bit better. Fine enough tip to do carving with, whittling with, whatever other task you want to use your small pocket knife for. Great looking curly birch handles on it. Beautiful. I will tell you though, when it first arrived, there was a little bit of roughness to the curly birch handles, and maybe just because it was a bit drier than when it was first produced and sent out. But I took some extra fine wet dry sandpaper, rubbed it over maybe 3 times, and now it feels polished. And it looks just great. Little piece of lanyard with a little woggle knot in it just to make it easy to get in and out of my pocket. Yeah, love using this little knife. So if you've been looking for a small pocket knife that you can use with the assurance that it's strong enough for tasks like this, this is worth looking at. All right, I'll put the specifications as well as the links to where you can take another look at the Joker Arctic in the video description. If you have any comments or questions, put those in the comments section below. But until next time, get out and explore and take that path less traveled, because it will make all the difference. Bye for now.